Hi there, friends. This is Dominique from the Pixie Planner. Welcome back to the channel. Now, I am a firm believer that as seasons change, so do our planning needs. And what I mean by that is, especially right now with everything that's happening with the COVID-19, a lot of us who are usually out working like 9-to-5 jobs or even 10 or 12-hour shifts are now stuck in the home. So our planning needs, of course, are going to be drastically different than how it used to be. And I know for myself, this is something that has made some big changes to my planning routine. So today I want to talk to you about the block schedule method. This is something that I have heard tons about over the past couple of years, but never really tried it because my schedule didn't really work well for it. I think it is extremely helpful for someone who works from the home, or maybe you are a stay-at-home mom and you're taking care of the kids and you need to have some organization and structure to your days. This is where the block schedule is extremely helpful for many people. And now that I'm not working my regular 10-hour shifts, being at home is a complete change for me. And I found that I struggled the first few days with it to find some structure in my day and still be productive. So what I did was I printed up a printable, and this comes from Jordan Page. She is at FunCheapOrFree. She has an amazing video about her time blocking or her block schedule method. I'm going to leave that link down below. She's really the inspiration for me trying this method out, and she has free printables for you, and that's what I have right here. And the great thing is it's completely editable. So I went ahead and I pretty much just jotted down everything that I wanted to try to get done in a day. And we all have some sort of routine and schedule to our days, no matter what. Even if we might be doing different tasks or different appointments, we tend to usually follow kind of a same routine. So for me, what I ended up doing was I divided the blocks, and there's 6 blocks here that she offers, into morning, focus, lunch, outing, dinner, and evening. So each of my blocks are set up to be no less than an hour and a half long. So my shortest block is actually my lunch hour block, where the other ones are anywhere from 2 to 3 hours or 3.5 hours long, depending on how much I want to be trying to get done in those particular blocks. Now, my morning block, this is where I'm going to be getting myself ready in the morning, having breakfast, making the bed. I like to do a little bit of yoga during that time period. I'll answer some emails and get the dishes done or pulled out from the dishwasher. And I also like to start one small load of laundry, start to finish, actually within that time frame. And so my morning block is typically 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Once that block is over, then I move right into my focus block. And what I also do at the bottom here, this is something that Jordan talks about in her video on the time blocking or the block schedule. She talks about when is it okay to be on your phone and when is it not okay. So she has a plug in and an unplugged time for specific blocks. So my morning block, I am plugged in, so I allow myself to be on social media, to be on my phone scrolling, just because this is kind of my relaxation period to ease into the day. But you'll see as I work into my focus block, I have myself unplugged. So my phone is not near me. I have it put off to the side. If you're really bad at doing that and you still find yourself peeking at your phone or being tempted, put it in a drawer. That's something that I had to do in the beginning. And then out of sight, out of mind, in the drawer when you're in your particular block period that you want to be unplugged for. So with my focus block, I have that as 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is where I'm going to be working on my YouTube or my side hustle, or even if I'm trying to catch up on things with my everyday job, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate that time period for those areas. I'll also work on some cleaning tasks that I want to get done, or even tidying around the house, picking up clothes, putting items away, and responding to emails that correspond to my side hustle. So focus block is going to be more of my work or my not so pleasant tasks. This is where I'm really just going to hone in on them and just get it done, not procrastinate, not waste any time. And then once 12 p.m. hits, I am done, moving on. And then that takes me into lunch. So I have lunch dedicated 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Now, I'm not a stickler about exact timing. If I'm a half an hour off, like I get started half an hour later in the morning, or I run over just a little bit in one block, I'm not a stickler about it, but I know that my goal is to move on, like not linger and, put too much time and effort into the block before. So for my lunch block, of course, this is where I'm going to be prepping and eating my lunch. I will be plugged in because I'm just eating and kind of relaxing. I will let myself back on my cell phone, social media, watch some TV, read. I'll take my dog out for a walk at that point. Then at 1:30, I move into my outing block. So outing block is a little bit tricky now because we are all being, quarantined at home. And so what I'm taking this as is my outings with my dog. So if I want to go for a longer walk, then I will be doing that at that time. So I'm exercising my dog, I'm exercising myself. And then, even though we are quarantined in our homes, we are able to go out to the grocery store and do our food shopping and do our, kind of necessity, essential tasks at that time too. So even though my outing block is not what it used to be, I'm still keeping that section. And I may even, because I don't necessarily need 2.5 hours maybe now. So I may even tweak that a little bit and knock that down just to like a 2-hour time period. But in the regular world, this is where I would, try to schedule my appointments and visit with friends, do your usual errands, and I'll even use this time also just to do some yard work. Now that spring is around the corner, just cleaning up the flower beds and getting everything just nice and neat. So anything that takes me outside of my house, even if it's just in my yard, that is going to be part of my outing block. So once that is done, I have it from 1:30 to 4 p.m. We are then moving into my dinner block, which is 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Now, the dinner block is going to be where, of course, I am prepping dinner, cooking dinner. I'm going to be cleaning up in that time frame. Also, after dinner, doing the dishes, maybe do a quick tidy around the house at that time. So with the busyness of the morning and all my filming and things that I'm trying to get done, I might have some items that are still out and need to be put away. So I'll take that time to do a quick tidy around the house. Then finally, my favorite block is the evening block. Now, my husband and I absolutely are huge movie buffs and Netflix fans. So we love to sit down and just chill on the couch after dinner and enjoy a good show or a movie. And this is where, I'm going to take the time to really catch up with my husband about the day or things that are going on in our lives. We're just going to have that nice family time. I also am going to be taking my shower and doing my skin prep in this time period, making sure that I am taking my supplements, and also I will take that time to reply to any YouTube or Instagram comments, messages before lights out 10 p.m. I'm still trying to stick to a good bedtime routine. It's easy for me, and I'm sure a lot of you out there, knowing that you don't necessarily have to get up at a specific time like you did when you were working. It can lead to you being a night owl and being up a lot later than you really want or should be. So I'm trying to really stick to my close to usual bedtime routine, maybe a little bit later now. But if I'm getting up at 7 in the morning, I want to make sure that I am asleep by no later than 11 p.m. So I'm trying my best to stick with this particular schedule. Now, as I mentioned, I've made tweaks to it and I will continue to tweak it a little bit as time goes. And so I want to talk to you now a little bit about what planner I am using to help me with this whole process. So in my previous video, I'll leave that linked in the cards, I mentioned that I've been using my LEY DAPPERDESK planner, and the reason being is because with all the chaos that is going on right now and all the things that are just flying through my mind that I want to get done within the home, I need some simplicity. I need something that isn't going to make my brain even more busy. So what I had stored in my A5 Louis Vuitton was a bunch of lists and of course monthly plans, weekly plans. Well, of course, a lot of that is out the window. I don't need to have all of these lists on me at all times because I'm in the house. So I wanted to go with something simple, clean, and something that I know is a tried and true productivity item. So I'm using the Dapper Desk, and I will show you here my monthly layout from March, and I'm really just kind of like scribbling whatever I want in here. I am not worrying about making it too nice and neat or pretty. And so when it comes to the block schedule that I've been working with, the planner has been absolutely fantastic. It's giving me just enough room to write everything out that I'm wanting to get done, to keep it organized, to keep it still separated in different areas. So if I have my cleaning area, I don't want that running into my, general personal task list. I'm able to keep that still a little bit separate because of all the great space that's in here. And then I have plenty of room to write notes. So the Dapper Desk has been just absolute perfection for me to declutter my brain, to help me stay productive, to help me get into the routine of this block schedule method that I'm now implementing. And I love that the time period is 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. because that is pretty much the time that I am working with right now. And it hasn't been, any fuss or frilly. It's just nice and simple. Like I said, that is exactly what I needed during this season of my life. So I do think that with these changes that we're all going through right now, it's a good idea to maybe tweak your planning method a little bit to help you better stay productive, manage your anxiety and your task list that I'm sure is just growing and growing and growing. And so for me, I found that creating this block schedule is really something that I needed because I am not someone who works from home. I have never had a real flexible schedule. I've always been very much dictated by my work schedule, and I have 10-hour shifts, and it's just completely out of the norm for me. So it was tricky to find some structure to my days when I first started staying at home. So I hope you give this block schedule a try. Like I mentioned, I will leave Jordan Page's information down below. Go watch her video. She goes into a ton of detail, and I can watch that video just over and over. I think I watched it maybe like 2 years ago, and I went back and I watched it like 5 times last week just because I was like, you know what? I think I need this in my life right now. Like this is my season right now. So I hope you guys enjoy just seeing this breakdown of how I'm using the block schedule method and how I've been liking it. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear if you guys have even made changes to your own planning method. I know some of us aren't really needing it, but if you have made changes, comment down below what it is you have been changing. And I hope you are all staying safe and healthy. I will see you again soon in my next video. Bye.